the people that have come out of Long Island, Strong Island. Shout out to the J.V.C. Force. That's a deep cut. Do yourself a favor and YouTube J.V.C. Force, Strong Island. Use that in Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Travels of a Tribe Called Quest, because if you were around New York City, 86, 87, 88, 89, and you were into hip-hop, you know that chorus.
Greetings, viewers. Once again, this is AVision Media Broadcast Television. You're watching it again, man. You know how I bring these shows. I bring all the legends. I bring real hip-hop. This is what I do. So now we have the man AJ Rock, J.V.C Force.
Yes,
now, this y'all getting ready to go to school and get a lesson right now from this man. This man got books. He got hit songs. You know, he was a hip hop vet back in the day, man, doing big things. Him, B-Luv, all of them, man. So this is AJ Rock. How you feel, brother?
I'm good. Shout out to my partner Ryan, B-Luv.
It's all good. Let's just run through it, man. AJ Rock is a member of the hip-hop group J.V.C Force, which stands for Justified by Virtue of Creativity for All Reasons Concerning Entertainment.
Now let me stop you. Let me stop you. So somebody wrote that online and they're wrong. It's Force. He says for all reasons. It's supposed to be for obvious reasons. F.O.R.C.E. I don't know where the person got all from, but somebody put all, and they've been running with that all over the internet for like years.
Forever.
So it's about creativity for obvious reasons concerning entertainment.
Correction. That's the correction right there, y'all.
For all reasons would make us J.V.C Force instead of Force.
Wow. You're right. So we had it kind of. We had it a little twisted up, y'all. You know, the internet don't really give out good information, but you know, now we got it from the source right here, AJ Rock.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how all of this happened for you, man? You know, with the group J.V.C Force, how did that happen, man, for y'all?
Well, I mean, I'm not originally from Long Island. I'm originally from Mount Vernon, New York. So like my parents decided to they wanted to get a house in Central Islip, Long Island when I was like 7. And then like my parents they broke up and I drove my mother crazy. So she moved me back to Mount Vernon for high school. And then I came back, I ended up coming back to Long Island after high school. So when I get back now, everybody on the block, my man Mike Walls and Rodney Norman, my next door neighbor, telling me how Bill and them are doing their thing now. They're a couple of years younger than me. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm going, they're doing their thing. So they was going to do a little house party, and my boys decided they was taking me to the house party. So I go to this house party they doing for this girl, and Rodney and Mike and them is like, yo, let AJ get on the mic. Let AJ get on the mic. So, you know, I say a couple of rhymes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, it wasn't really like a battle, but it was Bill's set, B-Luv set, so he ain't going to let nobody show him up on his set. So, you know, then he start rhyming. Then I start rhyming, and we going back and forth and back and forth. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the night, everybody talked about how good we sounded together. And the next day, I met them at Curt's garage, and you know what I'm saying? I ended up joining JVC, and we started, you know, doing routines and starting to do some demos and stuff.
Wow. Okay. But the first hit single when you was doing demos, the first hit single was Strong Island. That was the first one, or you had something before then?
So what actually happened, the demo that got us signed, I'm not on. It's a track called New School. So B-Luv did it and had this other cat that ran with us, Rob. They called him Rob Stinger. He's doing the beatbox. That's the song that actually got us signed. That's something they did before I got with the group. But when we got to B-Boy Records was the first one to really call us. And when we got there, they wanted to do something. They wanted us to record something for the B-side, just in case.
Okay.
And we went in the studio, and B-Luv wrote most of Strong Island, and then we went to the studio and did Strong Island. When we came out, we knew we had a hit, and the label was like, "Yo, we gonna put that on the A side," and then that's how that came about. Like Strong Island, pretty much probably from what a lot of labels told us, would have got us signed to like almost any label. But you know what I'm saying? We didn't have Strong Island, didn't exist when we were shopping though.
Wow. So it didn't exist at all. When you first made that song, Strong Island, when y'all made the song, did you have any idea that it was going to get that big?
Nah, when we left the studio, we knew we had something. There's sometimes when you just get out the studio and you feel like that magic, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got something. I couldn't tell you that I knew 34, I think it's 30, January 1st. The New Year's Eve will be the 35th anniversary when Red Alert Records. Now, you can't tell me I couldn't tell you 35 years later that people all across the world would still be singing the lyrics and they'd be playing on satellite radio and everybody would still be loving the record. I'd be lying if I told you that. But we did it because, you know, at that time, you kind of had to be from one of the 5 boroughs to be official in hip hop.
Okay.
And the cast that was from Long Island, you know, Chuck D said Strong Island, where I got a wildin', which is what we sampled for the chorus.
That's right.
Rakim said Rough Enough to Break New York from Long Island.
Yeah,
but nobody else that was from Long Island was like really repping Long Island. You really didn't know if you didn't know that PE and that Rakim wasn't from the city. You know what I'm saying? At that point, nobody was really. So the same way KRS did when he represent,
Bronx.
The same way Shan did Queensbridge. The same way they did the Million Records about Brooklyn. It was about representing where we come from, where we was at, and we kind of put it on the map, and we sampled Chuck D's words, Strong Island, where I got a wildin' for the chorus. And from that point, in hip-hop circles, Long Island been officially known as Strong Island from that point.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So it wouldn't sound right if you guys was like, Long Island, what? So you just switched to Strong Island.
It was like Strong Island. I think Bill, like I said, we sampled it from Chuck. We got
Chuck D,
I always give credit where credit is due. Chuck said Strong Island, where I got a wildin'. We took Strong Island from Chuck. Chuck said it first. You know what I'm saying? He's the first one. He may not be the first one to ever say it, but he's the first one on record I ever heard say it.
That's right.
You know, Rakim said, Rough Enough to Break New York from Long Island. But Chuck, I think, was the first one that I heard on a record say Strong Island. We sampled his voice for the chorus.
Yeah. That was dope, man. That song was dope. Like I said, it was being played all in Philly, man. They had this record station called Street Beat, which was Lady B.
Yes, Lady B. Shout out to Lady B.
Lady B used to rock
love back in the days. Yes.
Yeah, man. So she used to always rock Strong Island. You know what I mean? Did you guys ever come out with a video for that song?
So no, it was at a time when everybody didn't get a video at that time, and what happened was there is a video that's out, but it's not an official video. Red Alert had a public access TV show.
Okay.
We were asked to come perform.
Okay.
They showed a recording of us performing that you can find online, and people think, you know, that's end up being, I guess, kind of like the video for Strong Island. Shout out to Ralph McDaniel's Video Music Box. He still plays that to this day.
Wow, yeah, and like I said, it's dope, man. And did y'all have your first perform as a crew at a neighborhood house party?
We performed the first time. Well, we had our homeboys, Mike Walls, Rodney Norman, and Frank Stallworth. The 3 of them rented a house together.
Okay.
And that house used to be like officially like the party house. It could be like a Tuesday. We just all end up there. Curt left his equipment there, and next day we having a party just for no apparent reason. So we probably performed there before we performed anywhere else. So I don't know if it was an official party or we used to just gig there all the time.
So when that happened, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, so that was like the party house. So like we all went. Like, shout to them 3 brothers. That was like the party house. Any day of the week, we were just there. You know, somebody show up with some cards. Somebody show up with a case of Heineken. We playing spades. Next thing you know, my man Reg, who's the 4th person on the back of the cover of the album, G Reg, he'll just start DJing or something. And next thing you know, people just come in. We have a party. Like, I mean, it was like on any given day, there was a party at the house.
Wow. So that's where y'all go. Y'all get it in. Y'all have a good time in there, right?
Oh, no doubt.
Now, did you get a record deal from B-Boy Records from that incident, or was it another time? Like the B-Boy Records held a meeting with you guys, right?
So we did what everybody else did back in them days. You pick up all your favorite album covers and you look at the addresses to the labels at the bottom.
Okay,
and
cool.
You mail in the tape to every label. B-Boy was one of the first that called us back with anything serious. You know what I'm saying? And we went and had a meeting with them. Again, Strong Island didn't exist yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh wow. So doing that, man, at that time, like looking for the numbers and calling them numbers up. That was kind of easy for y'all back then to do. Like is an easy way to get in the door that way by calling those numbers on the record.
I mean, back then, yo, cats were now, like people talk about hip hop now and talk about it. So they don't understand how easy they have it. Like when we signed, there was no way for us to get our music heard by the world without signing to a label. And now you got young cats can do something in their basement, put it on the internet, and everybody can hear it. We didn't have that, so you had to kind of sign to a label, and the label got you to the record stores, to the different states, overseas. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you couldn't reach the world like that before without a label. Like it was unheard of back then. We had no internet back then. Like we had no Facebook. We had no.
You didn't.
In '88.
That's right. No Facebook, none of that. So it was a little harder. You got to get your boots dirty back then. But now
we all had album covers. So we're not the first people to do it. I heard many people say that they looked at the address. The address to Def Jam on the back of LL's album, the address to Profile on the back of Run DMC's album, the address to Select, the address to what I'm saying, all the little labels that was doing things. You know what I'm saying? We would send the tape to all the labels.
Wow. Do you also regret, not only you, the group, that your fans never really got to hear what JVC had to bring to the game?
What do you mean? You got to rephrase that for me. I don't know.
Did the group ever regret that they never had a chance to hear what y'all really can bring to the game? Like, at one point y'all kind of disappeared from the game, like that. So I know y'all had more music in the tuck. I know y'all had more things.
So one thing. So we were a self-contained unit. We didn't have a lot of guest producers. Okay. Curt came up with a lot of the music. We had suggestions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bill wrote a lot of the lyrics. I mean, I wrote my share. I handled a lot of the management type stuff, to getting our record on the radio, to getting us in the magazines. I ain't know about publicity. I ain't know about radio promotion. I just wanted the record on the radio so the girls could hear it. I just wanted the record in the magazine so the girls could see us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know nothing about that. So we were doing all that ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we were also one of the few groups back then that the DJ was signed as a member of the group. If you only time you had that, the DJ's name was in the group, like Coogee Rap and Polo. You know what I'm saying? Eric B and Rakim. But like Kane was signed, but Mr. C wasn't signed. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Usually just the artists was signed by themselves back then. You know what I'm saying? Unless the DJ's name was in the group, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? Unless the name was in the group, it was the artist that was signed and the DJ wasn't signed. We were one of the first where the DJ was actually a member of the group. It was a 3-man group. You know what I'm saying? So did y'all have to actually tell a label that y'all are a group, or did they pick themselves and say, no, we want you, but not him? Nah, we did. When I just said everything, we did everything ourselves. We went to the studio ourselves. We recorded ourselves. We mixed it down ourselves. Like we were a self-contained unit. And then when we got off of B-Boy, we was on Idler's Warlock, and they tried to change us a little bit because they had success with the Jungle Brothers' Girl I'll House You. So they tried to get us to do some hip house stuff, and that really, really wasn't us. So, we was creative differences and stuff like that. And then when we got the Big Beat, Big Beat, before they got to Atlantic, we were part of the deal of Atlantic buying Big Beat. So when we got the Big Beat, Big Beat was the first time they was trying to give us producers, and they was trying to give. We normally went in the studio, we came up with an idea, we wrote to it, we recorded it, we banged it out, and we did it all ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So then, everybody wanted to change us at the end.
Yeah, you're definitely self-contained. You know what I mean? You did your own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wow. So here's the thing, like with the group, are you guys? I don't know if you're going back in the studio to do anything today, but do you feel as though you want to make more music or no?
Well, I'm a hip hop head forever.
Yeah,
Once you're a real hip hop head, you're a real hip hop head.
that's right. That's right.
I've quit hip hop several times and it just won't let me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm done with hip hop. I don't want nothing to do with it. It just won't let me. I got it in my bones. Mm-hmm. As far as making music, we had a chemistry that we had, yeah. and when we got the big beat and we recorded big tracks, it was like after the whole Idlers thing, we had that same chemistry. We got that same vibe back again. And Big Tracks was like one of the first times I felt we had magic after Strong Island like that. But I won't go in the studio. We had opportunities to do stuff. I'm not doing something that's fake. I'm not doing something that we're not all in alignment with, that we all, one person is recording here and the other one's recording here and the other one's producing here. Like if we don't have that chemistry, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? And I take hip hop everywhere I go. Like right now, I got a black newspaper, community newspaper. You know, I'm hip hop, so I put hip. You see hip hop in that is even when I'm talking about politicians, I'm talking about a congressman, but I'm still quoting a Biggie lyric or a Jay-Z lyric in the article. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like you always hip hop in everything I do.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man. But see, when you talking about big tracks in 1992, did y'all release a third album? But it never was it was unreleased.
So we signed to Big Tracks. The group broke up. Depending on who tells the story, I left the group or I got kicked out, depending on who's telling the story. So then I wasn't in the group, and they went to record. Most of the album was done, and they went to record some more without me, and then the group got dropped from the label, and the third album officially never came out. There is a full. So overseas, we did like a limited edition special vinyl. There's one company, they do this thing with the color vinyl with these limited edition joints, and we did a limited edition run with a couple of the cuts. You know what I'm saying? But nobody has heard the entire third album in its entirety. It's never been released anywhere.
Who has the third album right now?
B-Luv has everything that has to do with JVC. He would be what I would call our JVC historian. He got pictures in my basement. He got pictures. He got my daughter was over there to do some videos, and she was showing her all these tapes that he got. They all with my name. I used to do graffiti. They all with my name, with my handwriting, writing the graffiti on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like he has everything. And I would assume that since Curt produced a lot of the tracks, somewhere Curt might have a lot of the music. I actually don't have the entire album, like to release like that. But I know B does, and it's just one of those things. It's like if a right situation came up, then cool. But we're not gonna just do it, and you know what I'm saying. And like bits and pieces have been released, and they all over the internet. You know what I'm saying. But it's just like maybe you might hear some of this stuff in a documentary or something. You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Whatever's in the cards. Like you know what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, but eventually we probably hear the music somewhere
but down the line. You gotta while people still interested. You gotta have something that they ain't never heard. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta hold on to something they ain't never heard. Right. You gotta hold on to some pictures they ain't never seen. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if there's a documentary or something, I'm assured that it would probably be something like that. Which there's been talk about. Hopefully, there's been talk about a lot of stuff. Talks about books, documentaries. I don't jump off the roof about all that stuff no more. And people talk about a lot of stuff too. I see a contract or I see an agreement or we, you know what I'm saying, we talk about some money or something. It's just talk as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, man. Just I know we talking about real hip hop. Like this is what I do. You know. Do you listen to any of the music today?
There's a couple of cats. Well, there's a couple of cats that's been doing it for a minute, like the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's. There's a new crap up. You in Philly, right?
Yeah.
My favorite group right now is Coast Contra.
Oh, they hot.
That's my favorite group, dude.
Yeah, They hot, man. They hot.
They restored my faith in hip hop. Like,
Yeah, they hot. Them boys are hot.
That whole group, Eric Jamal, that whole group, and them two brothers, and the other dude that speaks in Spanish sometimes. Yo, them dudes. I think I've seen everything they have posted on social media. I hope they hear this. I am a big fan.
That's right.
And they have lyricism, and they have personalities, and they have the persona, and they have everything like that. They have the feel of an old school artist, only they're spitting new lyrics. You know what I'm saying, with new flows.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could tell they respect this, and it's not just something to do for them. They really live and breathe and eat this, So
that's right.
Coast Contra is my favorite. Right now,
boys is hot, man. Peace out to y'all. Coast Contra, they hot, man.
And Eric Jamal just is a nut, like he's a nut. I love the way he be like, and then I see I saw him talking in the interview, and he's so mild while he's talking, but when he's rapping, it's like Busta Rhymes, like, I'm loving that, like,
it's like they hype it up, man. It's like you want to hear more music from them.
Absolutely, I'm feeling them cats. There's a couple of others I can't think of their names right now, but Coast Contra is on. Anytime I get a chance anybody goes, what am I listening to? I definitely say them.
Coast Contra, that's right.
But there's a couple of cats. There's a couple of cats that still spit. You know what I'm saying? That still spit.
Yeah.
On the underground, it's just not. They're not really commercial. And there's some of the commercial stuff I do. If it might catch my ear a little bit. It's nothing that I might play over and over and over, but it might catch my ear, But I understand now that I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in 5 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that these young cats that's in their teens and their 20s, they're not making music for me. I'm not the demographics that they making music for. The same way my parents didn't understand what we was doing when I was listening to Kane and Run DMC and all this. Like, yo, what is that noise you listening to? Like, so I really can't really, like, oh my God, that's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like we were.
It's just not for you.
They're speaking to their peer groups. They're speaking to their age, and some of the subject matter. That's where it is. That's what's going on right now. They're speaking. So some of them take it a little too far. You know what I mean? But I mean, we had ours that took it a little too far too. But I would like to see, if I had my personal, I would like to see more lyricism and more people that respect the art form. Again, that's no knock to anybody's doing it. Get your paper. Y'all making figures that wasn't even thought about when I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad that y'all making your money.
Yeah,
stay true to yourself. My only thing is, to any of them, stay true to yourself. Don't sell out and be something somebody wants you to be for $1. All money ain't good money. You know what I mean? If that's you all day, every day, do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you're faking the funk, though, I mean, I can never feel nobody who's faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be something they wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, I don't know. My opinion, I just can't really get into it. Like you said, it's not for me. It's for a different group of people out there. So
it's not made for my demographic. It's definitely not. I am not in the demographic. Of the people. And you know what? I'm at a point right now. There used to be a time, like, because after doing the rap, after being an artist, and I wrote for The Source and Vibe and all of those, there was never an artist or a group of artists that I didn't know, who they was or whatever. But I'm cool now at my age when somebody, you heard of so and so, and I'm like, who? I'm cool not knowing who that, like, there was a time.
Me too.
Me too. Like, I'm a grown ass man. There's some stuff I ain't supposed to know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proud I don't know some stuff.
Right.
You know
That's right. That's how it is. See, my son is 22. He loved the new music. He tried to tell me about these guys, and I listen, like, if I'm in his car or we going somewhere, but he know I'm straight old school, and he loved that. Like, he know I ain't switching over. But
every time I see me play a playlist, it's going to be like a late 80s, early 90s, or 90s hip hop playlist.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to basically hear me play a lot of. That's what's on. That's what's on. If you went to my personal YouTube and see, look at the playlist, that's what you would see. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and sometimes I feel like I'm feeling that New York vibe, like that real gritty New York thing. Sometimes I'm feeling like that West Coast '90s music. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a bit of both. But that's what I mostly listen to. Like, you know, and there's some, like I said, I'm getting up on like Coast Contra, and I don't want to keep saying their name, but it's like literally.
No, they hot, man.
When you like ready to give up on hip hop and be like, yo, this thing, I ain't even feeling where this thing is going. Like, these cats restored my faith in hip hop, that there's real cats out there that's still spitting like that. And they're just a hand. There's a lot more. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, I love what J. Cole's been doing for a while. I love the body of work that Kendrick's put in. You know what I'm saying? There's several others out there, you know, that catch my ear, you know, maybe with a song or two, you know, but
I don't understand. I'm sorry about that. J. Cole and Kendrick. Kendrick get his airplay, but why is that? It's like they keeping these guys quiet and letting this other stuff come out. I don't understand.
You know, so Kendrick Lamar, and that's what I like about him lyrically. Like, sometimes you have to listen to a rhyme he say 3, 4, 5, 6 times before you actually get everything he's saying, with the double entendres, triple entendre, just the flip of the words, you know, the play on words. It's like a lot of times if you just listening to the music, you're not going to catch it. And you can listen to a Kendrick Lamar record 5 years later and be like, oh, word? Oh, yo, and here's something you ain't never heard before. Like, I love that. Now, his style is West Coast. Sometimes he rhyme fast and rhyme a little, you know, but his whole body of work from beginning to end. Now, J. Cole is just one of them cats, like, you know, I've seen him on commercial joints. I've seen him put in work with commercial artists, but he's just like, yo, I remember I did an interview with KRS back in the days, right? So KRS in the early 90s, KRS was talking about, he had released, I forgot what album it is. He said probably his most lyrical album, period. And it went gold. And it went gold, right?
Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, on Jive, Too Short sold 3 or 4 million.
That's right.
That same year. So the next year, what Jive did is when KRS and Too Short was coming back out, they put most of the promotion money behind Too Short, and whatever was left gave it to KRS. Because Too Short sold 4 or 5 million, even though that album that KRS put out was his most lyrical album, and that's out of his mouth at the time. And I can't remember which album it was, but that's what he said when I interviewed him once. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, you know, I mean, they put the money in. You know what I'm saying? If they put the money. Labels, see, you got to understand, labels is out to make money. Labels ain't out. Labels ain't out to care about your livelihood. Labels ain't out to care about the art. Whatever happens, remember that year, India.Arie, she got nominated for like 8, 9 Grammy Awards that year. Next year, every label tried to find an artist with a guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like, because India.Arie, like,
because of that.
So whatever's happening and whatever's popping,
they're gonna go with that.
They trying to reproduce what is hitting. And they're not really, you know, they out to make money. And as long as they honest about that, you know, it's like they pretend they care, and they pretend they care for your livelihood. It's never about you. It's all about the business. Like, it's music business is all about business. It's all about making money for them, and they want to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like that scene in Brown Sugar when the dude told Tay Diggs, he's like, yo, we make hits here. You want some lyrics? Go to Ruckus. You know what I'm saying?
Ruckus. because he know where he was at was garbage. Ruckus get that real stuff out.
But he was like, but we make hits. We make hits here. You know what I'm saying? Now the song was garbage, but it was a big hit.
It was a big hit. Yeah.
He's like, you want real lyrics? Go to Ruckus. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the Dalmatians?
The
Them boys, it's crazy, man. That's how it is today. Man.
So whatever gimmick gets you, whatever make some money. You know what I'm saying? Whatever gimmick makes some money, whatever makes money. And then it's like, you know, you have to understand there are, and I'm not going to put it on every label executive, there are people who control the music who they're not gonna really put money into the most stuff that's beneficial and uplifting of the people. They're gonna put stuff into some of the most ignorant stuff that they can make some money off of. And you know what I'm saying? It's poisoning our kids and stuff. But they making money off of that. But they won't let their own kids listen to it. You know what I'm saying? But,
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand there's things at work at play. So a lyrical dude like J. Cole may never really. Jay Electronica is another dude. You know what I'm saying? That's real lyrical. I used to listen to all his mixtapes when I lived in Atlanta. Yo, this dude just like, yo, who's this dude? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like a lot of these dudes that's real lyrical, and they got some science or something. Yeah. That's not what gets pushed. That's not what gets promoted. And it's always been that way.
Well, what I don't understand is this about Jay Electronica. Jay-Z was all over his last album. So he still didn't get no publicity like he should have. And Jay-Z was on it. So it's
Jay Electronica, I knew some people in his camp. He was dating Erykah Badu at the time. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a kid together. So he's running in that circle and he's spending money. He gets this money, this advance money. And from what I understand, he's spending this money like it's, before he even really made no music. There's all this advance money. He's spending money like crazy. And it wasn't getting back into the studio or something. So part of his thing probably was self-inflicted. But you know what I'm saying? It's the artist that's gonna stay. Like Big said, he opened the door for all them cats in the Junior Mafia. Only two was hungry, Lil C's and Little Kim. You know what I'm saying? They was the only one that was going in the studio when he was on the road and wasn't coming back to my look what I recorded. So those are the only two that came out. But he opened the door for all of them. Though.
He did. Yeah, it was up to them to make a move.
Yeah. So some of that might be him, but like J. Cole was signed before Jay Electronica, and then Jay was all on Jay Electronica, and Jay Electronica jumped over J. Cole, and J. Cole kept getting pushed back, and that had a lot to do with it too. So
Wow, man. Yeah, it's the record label is it's shady. Not kind of. The record label is shady, man.
Well labels are not meant, right. You have to do it yourself. Labels are not meant to very few executives at labels, because there's some, but very few are there to mold you as an artist, to guide you as an artist, to bring out the best in you in your music, to get you to do what you do and promote it. It's about making money. What can make some money?
Yeah, you're right.
Don't so much curses in there, kill a few people. You know what I mean?
And that's what they're doing, and that's like a big. It's a big sell right now. Sex, murder, money is a big thing right now. And back in that. And and back in the era, I say the golden era. Yeah. Are there any groups from that era that you feel were slept on?
Us. Number one, us, JVC, us. Number one, us. I felt like we were very underrated, but groups that were slept on. There were a million of them. And just because you asked me, I can't think right now. I probably forgot more about hip hop than the average person knows. But there was a lot of groups that just didn't get that full push, and it'll come to me later. I can't think, but I know. A lot of people a lot of other people feel that we are in that category, which you just mentioned, that we were just underrated and never got officially pushed like that.
Yeah, see, that's why I asked you earlier the question about, do you guys kind of regret that your fans never really heard the all of your energy and all of the music that you guys brought? Similar to the question I just asked about the era, like people slept on.
I don't really regret. Everything brought me to where I am now. I don't really regret, but what I will say is though, like, when we got in the business, like when a lot of people got in the business before us and around the time we did, not everyone, it was all about the music. It was all about the art. It was all about, making a record and doing some shows and rocking the mic and, I'm saying? And, just being that group, like, and it wasn't like, of course, everybody want money, you know what I'm saying? But like, it wasn't like money was like the main, like, motivation for this. Like I would have kept doing this. I'd have been rapping if I never made a record that you heard. I'd have been rapping, or still been rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just something that was in me. You know what I mean? So, I just got a chance to put something on vinyl, put something out that 35 years later, people are actually still playing rhymes people are still playing rhymes that we recorded in the summer of 1987. And I'm humbled by that, because there's groups out there now that are selling millions of records that people don't want to hear from 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people are still playing what we did 35 years ago. Like, that's an honor that, fans have kept us alive. And I have to shout that out to the fans, because it's the fans that kept us alive all this time. It's the fans all around the world. It's the fans that kept us alive.
You said Black Westchester.
So Black Westchester is I came home. I was in Atlanta for like 12 years. I came home in 2014 to help my sister take care of my mother, who had stage 4 cancer at the time. I'm with her every day in the hospital and in the rehab and everything. Now, my partner, Damon K. Jones, who me and him had a music company back together in the 90s, has started getting more into activism and advocacy and all that other stuff. And he got tired of having these press conferences, and the news only show a clip of the press conference, sometimes missing the meaning or the message. So what he did is brought him some camera equipment. He would record his press conferences and then put them on YouTube so you could see the entire press conference. So there's one day he was like, I know you tired. I know you can use a break from the hospital. I need you to come work the camera. So I came to work the camera, and it was like these 4 Black parole officers upstate. They went to get an escaped parolee. He wasn't home. And when they left the town, they got held at gunpoint for like over an hour by the local cops up there, even though they had on bulletproof vests that said New York State Parole. They had their badges around their neck, on the chain around their neck, and they was in a government car. They got held at gunpoint by the local white cops up there. So Damon,
racism, right?
So Damon sends me the video afterwards, and I always had a blog. I always wrote about stuff that was on my mind, and I basically wrote an article like, "Yo, if it ain't safe for them in the street, what chance a brother like me got?" And that ended up being the first article of what we know now as Black Westchester, which was meant to be like African-American news magazine, because you got Newsweek and Time, you got all these, but not for us. You know what I'm saying? So this was like supposed to be an online news magazine that dealt with us and dealt with what was going on in our county, Westchester, and in the surrounding areas. And we started that in 2014. We're going on 9 years now. On our 3-year anniversary, the people start asking us to put a newspaper out. So we put out the newspaper every month. And we got a weekly talk radio show, People Before Politics. And basically, we educating our people. We dealing with anything that has to do with the Black community. We've changed the political landscape in Westchester. We got some elected officials in. Some that was messing up, we got them out. And there's some that we got in that they messed up and we got them back out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm talking about the local district attorney. I'm talking about some congressmen. You know what I'm saying? I got to help my congressmen get in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we really in our little, we like, I guess, big fish in a little pond or whatever. We really we got at least one cat who was wrongfully incarcerated. We got him out of jail and exonerated, and the cops who lied on him, we got them. We responsible partially for them going to jail. And I'm like, wow. We dealt with police brutality and all that. So that's what Black Westchester is, the news with the Black point of view. And then last year, on the anniversary, I wrote a book, Black Westchester.
Black Westchester.
The origin story. Yeah. Like superheroes, you see Avengers and each member of the Avengers got their own origin story. Well, this is our origin story. You know what I'm saying? So tell you how we came to do this, and kind of my personal memoirs, all the things I did to lead me up to doing this. Because I didn't come up here for none of this. I came to help my sister take care of my moms. I didn't have nothing to do with politics. I ain't want nothing to do with none of this stuff, but it kind of fell in my lap. And now we're like the voice of the voiceless, kind of, sort of, when people don't have nowhere else to go. they call us. You know what I'm saying? And and we make some noise and help some. We help some with their situations, and you know what I'm saying, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's a little bit about Black Westchester. You can find everything we do on blackwestchester.com, the radio show, the newspaper, the articles, everything is on there. So that's what we do now. And now I'm working on my next book that's going to be out in February, where we like paying homage to all the Black women who made history in Westchester. You know what I'm saying? It's like Black Westchester celebrates Black women of Westchester. Like, the first woman that was mayor in this city, the first Black cop, the first, like, it's like all the women that contributed to whatever. And this book will be out for February, you know what I'm saying, for Black History Month. So, we just documenting, now I'm documenting our history, you know what I'm saying? And all that. The local libraries are archiving the newspaper. They got the copies of the book. So I'm trying to do like a library tour through March, February and March, because February is Black History Month and March is Women History Month. So, it's about Black women. So I'm trying to do a whole library tour through Westchester for February and March. You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things I'm trying to get more into my books, maybe a documentary or two, more stuff like that, just continuing to keep the people's feet to the elected officials and the leaders hold their feet to the fire when they're not doing right.
That's dope, man. That's dope what you're doing. You're doing a great big movement, man. That's needed. Well needed. You know what I mean? And also you made your mark in journalism. As a member of the On the Go crew, are you still involved in that?
Yo, so shout out to On the Go magazine, to Steve Powers, Espo, to Ari, to Jimmy, to Max Glazier.
Yeah.
This is the most fun I ever had as a writer covering hip hop. Like when I was with them cats, it was like, and we was like doing it. Nobody was making no money, you know what I'm saying? But we was just putting out the dopest magazine out, and it was fun, and I had the most fun. And those dudes, like, yo, I love them dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? They all going on to do different things. And, but that was the dopest hip hop magazine out. You know what I'm saying? That was, On the Go. And they from Philly. Steve Powers and Ari are from Philly. You know what I'm saying? They started it as a graffiti magazine in Philly. And then they came to New York and got more hip hop into it. And at that time, I was going from being an artist, and you know how you just trying to stay relevant and try to keep in the game some kind of way?
Yeah.
Shout out to Wendy Day from the Rap Coalition. She thought it was her idea and somebody else's idea to have a rapper review other rappers' CDs. And that's how I got into it. And then something happened and pissed me off, and I wrote about it, and they were like, oh, this dude could really write. So that's how I kind of got into it, thanks to Wendy Day from the Rap Coalition. So yeah, they was coming here and wanted to get more hip hop in the magazine, but keep the graffiti format. And you know what I'm saying? I was trying to like find my next chapter on what I was doing, and Wendy kind of put us together, and it was on and popping since then.
It was on from there. Now you talking about graffiti. Have you heard about Cornbread?
Now, don't get me to lie. I know a lot about graffiti. I know a lot of names, so don't get me. But I'm not as intelligent. I can't speak as intelligently on the leaders and the veterans of graffiti the way I can about rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was the guy that wrote on an airplane, Cornbread, and he wrote on a Philadelphia's elephant back in the day. He hopped over the elephant gate and wrote his name, Cornbread, on the elephant.
That's dope. No, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's from Philly. It's pictures on the internet of what he did.
Oh, that's dope. I got to look that up because I didn't know about that. I got to look that up.
Yeah, Cornbread, man. Check him out, man.
But so we talking graffiti, like, from Mount Vernon. Mm-hmm. So like the cats that was really holding it down in Mount Vernon that's really renowned. This dude named Alex Farrow, they called him Rembrandt 311. Okay. And then Leroy Mack, he was LM 444. They started something called the Graffiti Force, and they was known throughout the whole city, not just Mount. They was respected. There was a lot of other cats down with them. I was loosely affiliated with them. I wasn't an official member, but I was loosely affiliated. I was AJ Rock, and I lived on the corner Mount Vernon, I lived on the borderline of the Bronx where 4th Street turns to 241st. So my tag was AJROK 241. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I was a graffiti artist too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did everything. You know, so but I wanted to shout them out. Those are the cats. Those are like the Mount Vernon legends in graffiti, like, you know, that really schooled me, and I learned a lot from them on, you know, lettering and characters and stuff like that. I learned from them or just watching them. You know what I'm saying? So
wow. So we talking money earned in Mount Vernon, huh?
yeah. Oh no doubt. So there's a lot of legendary people in Mount Vernon that people don't know. Just like we like Long Island. There's like the groups like in Long Island, Central Ice of Long Island. We had groups like Double Exposure and Midnight Express and
Midnight Express. Sound familiar?
And another group, I can't think of the Infinite Power. I can't think of their name right now. Unlimited Power. Those three groups was our equivalent, in Central Ice of Long Island was our equivalent to what Cold Crush and all of them was in the Bronx. They was that in Long Island. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, those are the cats when I was in high school, sneaking out, only supposed to be home by a certain time, sneaking out at the party, staying out.
Checking that out.
Game parties, especially Double Exposure. Double Exposure was like really like our big brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
wow.
A couple of them ended up being down with us, you know, rocking with us on different levels. But I just want to shout them out too. Those are legendary people in Central Islip that paid. If there was no Double Exposure and Midnight Express in them, there might not have been no JVC, there might not have been no Craig Mack, there might not have been no Keith Murray. Like, those are the original hip hop heads in Central Islip. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
That's right. There you go, man. Those are the originals, man. And what's next for you, man? Because I know you have the book. You're doing you with different organizations. So what's next for you?
Yo, I'm just rocking out and seeing where things go. I'm planting my flag everywhere. I'm just this. I didn't sign up for this. It kind of fell in my lap. I'm this like activist, this advocate. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, my city, Mount Vernon, you know, needs a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? I fight for my city, for the betterment of my city, and for Black people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fighting for our rights. I'm fighting to educate us, you know, and stuff like that. So I do, like, that's mostly what I do. But like I said, I'm trying to put out some books right now, maybe do a documentary or two, and then, you know, just see where things go from that. Like, I got a couple of things that's in the plans that you know, I can't speak to because they're not, you know what I'm saying? I ain't lock them down yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, I'm really trying to see where this thing is going to go and leave my mark on that level as well. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like I said, the newspaper and the book, they're in the library. So 50, 100 years from now, as long as them buildings are still standing, you know, that paper's there the same way people is playing Strong Island 35 years later. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
So I'm looking to leave everything. I want to leave a legacy. Shout to my daughter Paula Sherelle Woodson. Mm-hmm. She live in the Atlanta area. Okay. You know, she do graphics. She do photos. She take pictures and do videos and stuff. Me and B-Luv was talking. We want to leave everything to our daughters. I want to leave all my published. I was reading about Donald Goines, an artist, an author I like. Uh-huh. He didn't have a lot of money, but he left all his books. He willed his books to his children. Okay. And at least three of them had movies made from the books. So I want to leave her all my published work and unpublished work, all my imagery and everything as far as JVC. So if you want to do anything that got to do with JVC, you want to do anything that got to do, you got to pay her. If I'm not around, you got to pay her. You just can't do it without paying her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, you know, I hope to live to be 105. You know what I'm saying? But I'm I'm 57 in a couple of months. So you start thinking about stuff like legacy. Yeah. You know, how do you want to be remembered? Mm-hmm. And then you start putting in the work. And you know what I'm saying? So right now I'm doing the community thing, you know what I'm saying, for my community. And that's kind of where I am right now. But hip hop is always and first and foremost my passion. You know, I make my little own ringtones and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, people like, where you get that from? Like, I made that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like,
that's dope. Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? I hear something dope online, I download it and spin it up a little bit. That's a ringtone.
Yeah, ringtone. That's right.
You know, so everywhere I go, it's just like I'm hip hop. Like I'm always gonna be hip hop. You know, I want to see. I just spoke on a panel a couple of months ago, the 49th anniversary of hip hop at Mount Vernon Library. Ralph McDaniels was there, and they had MC Debbie D, who was like the first female MC. She used to rock the shop. And then they had this brother James Top, who's like a legendary graffiti artist, and then we had DJ Mark Collins, who's like a legendary DJ in Mount Vernon. He was, he was in Mount Vernon to what the Cold Crush was to the Bronx. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was doing this thing. Okay. So I did. So we're talking about, the 50th anniversary coming up and being a part of putting something special together. At least, my city, Mount Vernon Library they do like a hip hop thing every year. So I'm trying to work with them to put something really special together to celebrate the 50th anniversary. And I want to be part of as much as I can be part of, those things that are celebrating that, hip hop's about to get his AARP card. You know what I'm saying? 50 years old.
Wow. Let's go to that. Let's go to that, man. Listen, you just keep going, man. Keep doing your thing because you got your hands in a lot of stuff and it's really needed. It's needed.
I've always been a hustler.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily, we get this image, the hustler, the dude on the block.
The drug dealer, yeah.
The drug dealer or the many different illegal things on the block you do. Like I still have that same hustler spirit. Like even when I was, rapping, I was trying to get into little merchandise and I was trying to get into this. You know what I'm saying? As I was writing, I was trying to get into this. I try to put out a few artists. I try to produce a few artists. Like I've always wanted to, like I'm always hustling to that next thing. You know what I'm saying? Just to, hopefully, always be relevant in the game some kind of way, So that's like I'm always a hustler. So, if something comes across my path and it makes dollars and it makes sense,
it's on.
It's on and popping.
AJ Rock, man. But listen, man, I truly appreciate the fact that you came onto the show. You got a lot going on. You have the book popping right now. Where can they get the book at? Black Westchester.
So the book is called Black Westchester: The Origin Story. They can contact me on social media directly to order an autograph copy, or you can just go to Amazon. It's on Amazon right now.
It's on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Or, just email me, Mr. AJ Woodson. You'll see my social media right there.
Right there.
At Gmail. At Gmail. And I'm Mr. AJ Woodson on all forms of social media, so you can DM me. You know what I'm saying? And get it that way. Like I said, the next book is February. Black Westchester celebrates Black women of Westchester. I'm really trying to do something really powerful. We covered all these stories, like, when we do these things, but I never saw anything that had everything all in one book. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to give, as my mom said, give these women their flowers while they're still alive. And then, celebrate the ones that came before them. And I'm trying to really do something special here. So hopefully it'll be received as something special. And it'll be like in all the libraries and the school systems. And I'm really trying to, hopefully, and then maybe there'll be a part 2 to that, because I'm probably going to miss a lot of people, when I put it out. But I'm cramming in as much as I can.
Okay, that's cool, man. Everything sounds great what you're doing, man. Like I said, once again, I truly appreciate the opportunity. Viewers, this is AVision Media Broadcast. We have AJ Rock of J.V.C. Force. He came and explained what he's doing. He showed y'all the book, told y'all where to get it from. AJ Rock, man, do you have anything to say to the fans before we log off?
As you see, I always represent my Knicks. I know they won 8 in a row and they just lost 3 in a row, but no matter how many times they lose, I'm still always representing my boys. Everything that I'm doing, you could go to blackwestchester@gmail.com. Like that's the website that has everything. Eventually, I just brought the domain MrAJWoodson.com. I haven't put the site up yet, you know what I'm saying? But it's I just brought that, so everything I'm doing will be able to be seen through that. But right now, blackwestchester.com is where you find everything: the radio shows, the articles, you know what I'm saying, the newspapers,
Mm-hmm.
And I have fun with it. I represent and when DMX passed, he was a local legend in Westchester. I did a whole paper dedicated to just him. I gave back, for the community and let the fans. It was for the fans. It was dope. I try to do as much little things like that as well as the politics. And I try to mix it up and keep it funky. What I'm saying?
You're doing a great job, man, and it's well needed. We need you to stay out.
And shout out to my partner in crime, Damon K. Jones, who selected me, who picked me to take this journey with him. this was his idea. You know what I mean? And we going on 9 years. We're going on 9 years. I got 2 journalism fellowships for the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism. You know what I mean? We got a couple of national media awards. There's this magazine in Albany City and State, New York. They put out the top Power 100. We've been on that list for the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? As the real movers and shakers in Westchester. So we're getting a lot of attention. I'm speaking at places like Pace University and some of the colleges, to their journalism classes and stuff now. So I'm really, that's what I like to do, like public speaking to the kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And really speaking to the kids. I want to do some work with that. I definitely want to do something in that era, in that area.
That's dope, man. That's dope. You like I said, you're doing big things, man. Congratulations for everything that you're doing. It's AVision Media Broadcast. We had AJ Rock. He's from J.V.C. Force, the hip hop legend, the group, man. Check out his book, Black Westchester. Go online. He told y'all the website. He told y'all the Instagram handles, the Facebook handle also.
Mr. AJ Woodson is everything. Once the book came out, I decided to make that everything. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then, like I said, the website, and you want to email me, is at Gmail, Mr. AJ Woodson. And the website, whenever I can get to it, I brought the domain name. I just ain't got the site up yet. So there will be a website, MrAJWoodson.com, eventually somewhere.
Website coming soon, man. I thank you so much, AJ.
I thank you for what you do. Like, there's not enough people that's, like, it's important for people like me to rock, but people like you that keep the culture going and keep educating the people and keep bringing people like me on, to have these conversations. Like, we need people like you to keep this thing alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people can really know what it is. So shout to you and anybody who gives me a mic and lets me talk to their audience, man. I never seen a mic. I never saw a mic I didn't like. So I'm always down to run my mouth. So I appreciate that.
That's good, man. Like I said, y'all was my favorite group, man. I had a chance to talk to you, and I really appreciate that. And hopefully we can do this again.
No, anytime. And we ain't gonna talk about me. We talk about other things in hip hop. And anytime you're dealing with a certain issue in hip hop, like please. Yeah, I testified. Oh, let me just real quick. I testified 2 years ago in a local trial in White Plains, and when they were trying to use somebody's rap lyrics against them, and his brother wasn't even a dude up for murder. It was his brother. His brother was the rapper, and the DA had wrote down all the lyrics and he said something like, "If you go after my brother, if you testify against my brother, I'm gonna kill you." But that's not what he said. So I had to go in there for 5 hours and explain freestyle rhymes. I got paid. Freestyle rhymes to white people, and explain all that and break down this kid's lyrics. And they, and they got thrown out. The jury never got to hear. So,
oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So I've done some joints like that too. So I like, do whatever. I'm just trying to get it in. Wherever they call me, I'm there. Like, you call me, if I can help, if I can get involved, I'm there.
That's a wonderful thing you're doing, man. And like I said, hopefully we can do this again. Once again, it's AVision Media Broadcast. AJ Rock, man, I thank you so much for the opportunity, brother.
Salute and shout out to my partner in rhyme, B-Luv. Word up. That's my brother from another. That's like my brother. Like, if we never was in no group, that would be my brother. That's my brother.
Wow. Well, I thank you, man. Like I said, salute to you viewers. You had a spectacular show tonight. I'm going to send you everything, man, when everything get done.
Yes, sir.
And once again, man, I thank you. AVision Media Broadcast. Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Peace out.